Hey everyone, and welcome. Also, welcome to 2021. Today we're going to be switching it up and going through some of my favorite things from 2020. Just a heads up, these are based off of my views and my interests, and FYI, we will not be including December in this video. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. 2020 was the year of the pandemic. We really started this decade off with a bang. So much has gone on this year, but there was some good art that came out as well that I wanted to highlight today. I will be going through my favorite TV shows, singles, movies, and albums of 2020. I will also throw in some honorable mentions of some shows that were really good, but they weren't in my top 5. With the pandemic going on and spending a lot of time at home, I watched a lot of TV. While it sucked that there was a pandemic, there was some really good TV shows that came out this year. I did want to mention some of these honorable mentions first. So there's The Undoing on HBO, I May Destroy You, which also was on HBO, Love, Victor, which came out on Hulu, The Hunting of Bly Manor, which was on Netflix, Sex Education, which was on Netflix, and Never Have I Ever, which also aired on Netflix. So let's go ahead and get into this list. I'm going to show you some of my top TV shows from 2020. Tied for 5th place is Season 3 of Elite. Elite is a Netflix show that is based in Spain and stars Aaron Piper, Esther Exposito, and Dana Paola. The show deals with a group of kids who get a scholarship to this elite school for rich kids. The show is filled with lots of drama and murder, and it definitely will keep you interested. This show was new for me in 2020, and with each season, it just got better and better, and there was always a new twist. Season 3 came out in early 2020 and really kept up the momentum. They always start off the season showing you a major event, which is going to be the focus of the season, and then they backtrack in showing you the events that led up to that. I really like this because it, lets you put on your own little detective hat and figure out what's going on and kind of piece together a puzzle as the show is going on. And even when I got to the finale of the season, I still was shocked by what happened. I love a good mystery, and this cast is just amazing. The other show that is tied for 5th place is Blood of Zeus, which aired on Netflix. If you haven't guessed, it's about Greek history. It tells the tale of Heron, a son of Zeus, who must save the world from the Titans and the gods. It has an interesting story dealing with Zeus's infidelity and Hera's frustration with him. I love Greek history, and the way that it was shown kind of like an anime style was really cool to see. It has a cool story, and I love to see all the different gods and all their different powers. It was recently renewed for a season 2, so I'm really excited to see what's to come. Up next at number 4 is Lovecraft Country, which aired on HBO. It stars Jonathan Majors, Journey Smollett, and Michael K. Williams. The show tells the story of Atticus, who returns home from war to find his missing dad. Once he finds his dad, he starts uncovering dark secrets plaguing his hometown. The show is cool because it incorporates Black history with supernatural monsters and magics. I love shows that combine the supernatural with actual history. I think the cast is great, and I also think that this was an interesting concept. Each episode has something new, and it definitely kept you on your toes. Up next at number 3 is Dark, which is a German show that airs on Netflix. I think that this show is maybe one of the best, if not the best show on Netflix. In this show, we see different groups of people fighting for control of time travel. We see different groups of people trying to uncover the truth, and they're all connected by this 33-year cycle of craziness. The show really highlights the effects of time and time travel on the people of this small town and how all the people in this town are connected. I love how this show is so complex, but it makes sense. This is one of those shows where you really have to pay attention because there are multiple storylines across multiple different timelines. Also, the music is great, the visuals are amazing, and the acting is fantastic. Dark is very well thought out, and if you have not watched it, you need to watch it now. Coming in at number 2 on my list is season 4 of the show Insecure, which airs on HBO. This show holds a special place in my heart because it is based in my hometown of Inglewood. This show stars Issa Rae and Yvonne Orji. Insecure tells the story of Issa and Molly and shows their life and friendship and how it changes for better or for worse. It's a funny show and the cast is great. I think the show does a great job of highlighting black culture, but also showing some of the things that we do when we're out and about in LA. I just love this cast and the soundtrack for the show is great. Alright, coming in at number 1 is Schitt's Creek's 6th and final season, which aired on Pop TV. The show stars Dan and Eugene Levy, Catherine O'Hara, and Annie Murphy. Schitt's Creek tells the story of the Rose family, who has lost all of their money except a small town called Schitt's Creek that they bought as a joke. The family must now move into a motel in Schitt's Creek and reevaluate their lives. In the final season, we see the son of the family, David, preparing for his wedding to his fiancée Patrick. We also see the rest of the family setting plans in motion that is going to ensure that they have a better future. There are so many iconic lines and iconic characters in this show, and this show is just so fun and funny. Catherine O'Hara plays the mother in this show, and I just want to say she just stands out and is just hilarious. The Rose family, who are the main characters on the show tremendous growth throughout the seasons, and this final season was a heartfelt send-off to them. I often see shows mess up their series finale, but this show left us with a beautiful finale. It's one that will warm even the coldest of hearts. Moving on to my favorite songs and singles from 2020. There was a lot of great music that came out in 2020, and it was very hard to narrow it down, but I was managed to narrow it down to my favorite 5 songs that came out in 2020 or were released as singles in 2020. Some of my honorable mentions are WAP by Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion, Worry About Me by Ellie Goulding and Black Bear, Birthday by Anne Marie, Cardigan by Taylor Swift, Rain on Me by Lady Gaga and Ariana Grande, and Future Nostalgia by Dua Lipa. Coming in at number 5 is 6:30 by Ariana Grande. This song is fun and catchy. I love singing along to this song, and I love how this song seems like Ariana is truly in love, and she's just singing about if the person also feels that same way, and if they're down to, do this relationship. Her voice is just fantastic, and she does this little vocal run when she says, "Are you down?" and it's just amazing. I love this song, and Ariana just never fails to impress. Coming in at number 4 is Say So by Doja Cat. This song became super popular from TikTok and the dances made it super viral. This song is so catchy, and when I found it on TikTok, I could not stop listening to it. I gather from the song that Doja is just saying that if you really want her, just say so. Don't beat around the bush. I also love how Doja is singing and rapping. This is one of the first songs I heard by Doja, and I really enjoyed it. The visuals were cool as well, because it was kind of like a 70s theme, and I really like that cool throwback. Up next at number 3 is Say It Over by Rule featuring Cautious Clay. Rule is an artist that I found out probably about a year ago, and I really love his voice. It's a pretty chill song in which we hear Ruel singing about a breakup and how him and the other person in his relationship are just growing apart. I also love the music video for this song. It's very simple and it looks like something straight out of the 70s with this cool like hippie vibe that he has going on. If you haven't checked out Rule, you definitely need to check him out. Coming in at number 2 is Watermelon Sugar by Harry Styles. This song is super catchy and just fun to sing along to. The music video for this song is super fun and it's bright. Everyone's just eating watermelon and it looks like they're just having the time of their life. The song is rumored to be about oral sex, but Harry stated in an interview that the song is about the initial excitement and euphoria when you first meet someone. Regardless of whatever the song is about, it's a bop. I love the horns and guitars on this song. The song is just so fun and catchy, and I love Harry's vocals on this song. Harry has this cool little style that he was going for, and I think he nails it on this song as well as the rest of his album. Coming in at number 1 is Modern Loneliness by Lau, a sad but catchy song. On the song, we hear Lau singing about how now we're more connected than ever with social media, but that doesn't mean we're not lonely. The song kind of tells the story of how these relationships on social media aren't really genuine relationships. Lau stated that he's used to never being alone, but always feeling alone. It's such a great song to me because I think it shows how social media plays such an important part in people's lives today and how sometimes social media can do more harm than good, especially when it comes to your mental health. I love how Lau talks about on this song how we feel this connection on social media, but it's not a genuine connection. And how also, we love our friends, but we don't reach out to them enough, and instead we spend our time on social media. It shows how we put on this face for social media, and once we turn it off, then we get rid of that face, and then we realize that our true friends are the ones who we should be trying to reach out to and connect with. The music video really echoes what the lyrics say and like the role of social media. And at the end of the video, he calls his parents. He exits out all of his social media, and it's really sweet to see that. This song reminds me how younger generations are speaking up more about mental health and trying to create less of a stigma around it. I love how this is a topic that has come to light more recently because in past generations it has been shied away from, and I think it's very important for people to talk about it openly and acknowledge some of the issues that they might be going through. This is a great song and I really enjoy listening to it. Movies took a hard hit in 2020 with many being pushed back because of the coronavirus pandemic. With that being said, there were still lots of great films that came out in 2020. Here are some of my honorable mentions of movies that came out in 2020. You have Palm Springs, Over the Moon, The Willoughbys, Becoming, The Old Guard, and Jingle Jangle, A Christmas Journey. Starting off at number 5 is Enola Holmes, which aired on Netflix. This film has an all-star cast, starting with Millie Bobby Brown as Enola Holmes, Sam Claflin and Henry Cavill as her brothers, and Helena Bonham Carter playing her mother. Enola Holmes tells the story of how Enola Holmes' mother has gone missing and Enola Holmes must find her. On this journey to find her mother, she also uses her sleuthing skills to help out a lord as well. Millie Bobby Brown does an amazing job as Enola Holmes, and this story is interesting because it's one about Sherlock Holmes' sister that we've never heard before or seen. The film is very funny and it's a nice adventure film. Coming in at number 4 is Black is King by Beyonce. This can be found on Disney Plus. It's a companion piece to Beyonce's album, The Lion King, The Gift. It shows the breadth and beauty of Black ancestry. Beyonce never fails to deliver great visuals. I love how the film shows Black people in all different shades and truly how beautiful all Black people are. The dancing in this film is amazing and goes perfectly with the music. Even her costume and the way her hair is styled is influenced by African cultures. You can always tell Beyonce puts in 1,000% into all of her projects. Black is King is no exception, and I love to see Beyonce in action. Coming in at number 3 is Birds of Prey. It stars Margot Robbie, Ewan McGregor, and Mary Elizabeth Winstead, to name a few. The film shows Harley Quinn being hunted by crime boss the Black Mask after announcing that her and the Joker have broken up. She teams up with some other deadly women, Renee Montoya, Huntress, and Black Canary, to stop Black Mask from harming the young Cassandra Cain. This is a funny film and it's filled with great action. Margot Robbie really embodies Harley Quinn. She's like batshit crazy, but she can really handle her own. This movie introduces us to some heroes and villains that we haven't seen on screen before. Ewan McGregor does an amazing job as the villain. The movie is filled with just so much chaos. It's just such a fun and entertaining movie. Coming in at number 2 is Onward. Onward stars Tom Holland, Chris Pratt, and Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Onward tells the story of two brothers on a journey to see their father who has passed again. Their mother finds out about this journey and then she starts a journey of her own to ensure that her sons are safe. I love how this movie mixes real life with magical stories. It keeps you interested because you're constantly wondering what's their next little adventure going to be or their next little challenge. This movie has a very heartfelt story and it's a great adventure film. It is very entertaining and it is fun for all ages. And my favorite film of 2020 goes to The Invisible Man. I saw this movie when it first came out and I was very impressed with it. It's a great thriller and it keeps you on the edge of the seat because you're constantly trying to figure out where is this killer. The cast for this movie is amazing, and there were some parts that I really didn't think were going to make me jump, but they definitely did make me jump. This was a great addition to the horror/thriller genre. I love a good thriller and something that keeps me guessing, and this movie was perfect for that. The directing of this movie is amazing, and Elizabeth Moss was the perfect person to lead this movie because she is just an amazing actress. Last, but certainly not least, is my favorite albums of 2020. There was some amazing music that came out in 2020, and I'm really excited to jump into this section. Here are my honorable mentions. Love Goes by Sam Smith, Heartbreak Weather by Niall Horan, How I'm Feeling by Lauv, Everything Means Nothing by Black Bear, In a Dream by Troye Sivan, and Ungodly Hour by Chloe and Haley. Coming in at number 5 is Confetti by Little Mix. Little Mix is a group based in the UK, and they've been around for a while, and they always deliver. Breakup Song is my favorite song on this album. It's so fun and just catchy, even though the title would suggest otherwise. There are 4 people in this group, and they all deliver amazing vocals. Also, they always have these cool visuals to go along with their songs. Confetti is an album filled with lots of fun songs, and I love to hear each and every one of them. This was a great album from Little Mix. Coming in at number 4 is Calm by 5 Seconds of Summer. This is also 5 Seconds of Summer's fourth album. I've been a fan of 5 Seconds of Summer for a while now, and I'm always looking forward to their next album to see how much they'll grow and how much they'll change their sound. I think that each member of the band is just so talented. My favorite song on this album is Wildflower. It's just such a fun song, and you definitely want to sing along to it. This album is more mature than their other albums, and I think it's cool how they're able to change their lyrical content as they grow and have new and different experiences. It seems like a lot of the songs on this album address the growth that the band has gone through, starting off as this very small Australian band to becoming this big worldwide phenomenon. I think the vocals are fire, and I love to see so much growth in their singing. This was a great pop album from 5 Seconds of Summer, and I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see what they put out next. Levitating to number 3 is Future Nostalgia by Dua Lipa. This is her second album, and she fully delivers with this one. Future Nostalgia has this very 80s vibe. The album makes you want to just get up and just groove on out. I love the use of bass guitars on this album, and I love how she has this kind of electric sound on the album. I love this theme that she went for on this album, and it definitely sounds like a throwback. The title track is my favorite song on this album. It's such a great song, and I love how she's singing about wanting to change the game and do something different. I loved her first album, and Future Nostalgia doesn't disappoint as a follow-up. Coming in at number 2 is Positions by the exceptional Ariana Grande. This is her 6th studio album, and she goes for more of an R&B vibe with this album. I love how on this album, she proves that she can sing in a very high note, but if she wants to sing in a lower register, she can sing in a lower register and absolutely kills it. Her vocals never disappoint. This album is super mellow and easy to listen to. On a lot of her songs, we hear her singing about falling in love, and it's just nice to see that she's in a better place after having some very rough years. I can't really choose a favorite off of this album. My top 3 songs, I would say, are POV, Just Like Magic, and 6:30. I love this album, and Ariana never fails to impress and always gives us great albums to listen to. My favorite album of 2020 comes from the remarkable Taylor Swift. Folklore was one of 2 albums that Taylor Swift released in 2020, and I felt that it was the perfect album for the mood that is us being at home during a pandemic. It's a super mellow album, and like I said, I thought it was the perfect album to come out during the pandemic when we're at home just not doing much. I feel like she is constantly reinventing her style. She has gone from country to pop, and on this album, she goes a little different by going more of an alternative route, but it works for her. With this album, all of the songs fit cohesively, and you can easily just sit back and listen to this album. All the songs on this album seem like they're telling a story, and I always thought it was very interesting to see how Taylor Swift takes these stories and makes them into songs. My favorite songs off of this album are The One and Cardigan. For me, this was the perfect album of 2020. Oftentimes, I like songs that are upbeat when I'm driving somewhere, but with 2020, we were in the midst of a pandemic and we weren't really going anywhere. So I wasn't really looking for, these crazy dance songs and upbeat fun songs. I was looking for more of these slower, fun songs, that I can listen to and relax while I'm at home. Maybe, listen to while I'm doing stuff around the house. And this album was perfect for that. I think that Taylor Swift, really put out a great album for what the current mood was. And I think that it really paid off for her, but I think that it also resonated with a lot of people, including myself. 2020, what a crazy year. I'm so glad it's over. Thank you for watching. I would love to hear what some of your favorites were down below in the comments. If you have not subscribed, please do so you can keep up to date with more of my videos. But besides that, everyone stay safe, have fun, and goodbye.